quarterback.
Oh, there's a goal.
At least I thought he was gonna until he blew it.
This game all but proved how mediocre the Titans really are in the grand scheme of things. Big game for Mariota, nonsense, have him throw all of the terrible interceptions in the world. It also doesn't help that the Steelers offense chose to wake up from its underachieving slumber and turn into Greek gods, banishing them to Hades. The Titans had their chance to show superiority among the AFC, and they were once again 1 yard short. The Steelers were their catfish and slapped them around all night long. You see the good that comes from playing up to your abilities for once, Pittsburgh? Looking at the Dolphins, you could come to the conclusion that Hurricane Irma was not the worst thing to happen to Florida this year. This week's misery, 4 turnovers in the first half, shitloads of penalties, and being humiliated by your apathetic rival in the Buccaneers by means of a last-second game-winning field goal. Yes, another field goal. You also get an embarrassing touchdown by the Bucs on your final play, and Ray Maualuga being arrested for battery, because a former Bengal has never gotten in trouble with the law before. Quick, have famous Jameis be famous Jameis again to get our minds off of it. Cardinals, good news. Backup QB Drew Stanton is also injured and out for this game. This means that you are starting Blaine fucking Gabbert. Yes, he is still alive, and actually did a decent enough job. Tom Savage also chose to have a decent game as well, and Dante Foreman ran over the defense to lead to more Arizona misery. If a team wins the Injury Bowl, do they get a broken trophy? The Chiefs are off of their bye week and are playing a total carpet of a giant squad that's had a nuke dropped on it. Out of the 3 outcomes theory, they chose to morph into January form and adopt the zen of the Giants derping. What a total fucking shit show. We had interceptions thrown by a running back and a tight end. McAderp is trying desperately to save his job. The tank be damned. The Chiefs' offense was so inept that this game went to fucking overtime. At least the Chiefs can prevent themselves from being embarrassed, right?
Manning pulls the trigger. One-on-one. Lewis.
Oh, sweet merciful Jesus, it actually happened. This season of the Andy Reid Show has taken a very sadistic turn. Remember when I said the Chiefs were the class of the AFC? Yeah, they chose to lose 4-5 and hit a brand new low. Panic buttons, Arrowhead. You need them. One of those classic trap games that a team like the Jags chooses to make into a contest despite the Browns being shittier than their uniform colors. Even the dog pound wants nothing to do with this disgrace. $5 tickets on resale, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't miss a damn thing as the Jags chose to play down while the Browns played lower than the sewage system. Jacksonville makes a cringeworthy post on social media about owning the AFC North in Cleveland. Well, it can't get much worse than this, right? Fucking Cleveland. I don't know, you guys. I think the Lions might be playing down to the Bears level again. It's still a tight game in the fourth quarter, and this game has generated more tension than most of last week put together. Detroit has edged them out, but Chicago's got a chance to tie it on the leg of Connor Barth. Sail true, Connor.
Snap. Hold.
Or you could completely waste another great performance by Jordan Howard. It's too bad. If the Bears had a quarterback, a real head coach, and some wide receivers, they'd be a playoff contender. Trubisky isn't the answer yet, but then again, it's just another day of misery in the Windy City. The Vikings have laid down the blueprint for stopping the highest scoring offense in the league. Shut down Todd Gurley. It also doesn't help that Jared Goff can't get a throw off because of sustained pressure and a shutdown secondary. The offense was stuffed like a turkey, and Case Keenum got revenge on his old squad to give the Vikings a stronghold on the NFC North. Now, if you had told me last year that Goff versus Keenum would be between 2 7-2 teams, I'd have chucked you into a straitjacket. Packers, welcome to the abyss. Population -1 Aaron Rodgers. The offense was as terrible as their uniforms and made the Ravens look like their 2012 vintage. Depressing fact, Baltimore would be in the playoffs if the season ended today. Unfortunately, Green Bay no longer has an elite quarterback to mask the massive issues that plague the other 21 positions on the field. It's what people have been trying to say. The Packers are absolute trash without him, and it feels so good to have management's laziness finally be exposed cold and naked in Lambeau. Perhaps it's time to start experimenting with alcoholic cheeses. Well done, Redskins. You were on the brink of upsetting one of the top teams in the NFC and the Saints and asserting yourselves as playoff contenders again. Samaje Perine has filled in nicely as running back, and the defense has put that potent New Orleans offense in check. Time to watch the world burn again. As Washington sports reinforces its choking stereotype, tonight serving a blown 15-point lead with less than 3 minutes to go. Seriously, does anyone on the Redskins know how to make a fucking tackle? The Saints marched all over the Redskins as they blew yet another load too early. The Saints add to their strong winning streak and show the world their might. At this rate, it only feels like schadenfreude because of how this organization is run. And have yourself yet another Theismann-like injury to a running back-esque congratulation. Fuck Dan Snyder and the money-throwing horse he sued everyone on. So Buffalo is on an alarming stretch where they were massacred in their last 2 games. The problem for the Bills is simple: Tyrod Taylor. It's time for the perennial fucking over of Tyrod as he's benched for 5th round pick Nathan Peterman. It may be knee-jerk, you say, but they're playing the Chargers. Easy test for Nathan. He only threw 3 incompletions. 5 of those completions went to the opposition in the first half. Sean McDermott and his brilliant tactic made the league's black sheep look like the '85 Bears. Also doesn't help that the receivers can't fucking catch. That blameless defense was also shredded by LA as well, being completely blown the fuck out yet again and making it quite obvious that their biggest problem was indeed Tyrod Taylor. For those of you keeping track at home, they have now given up 135 points in 3 games, truly going full Pagula. The decision to bench Tyrod was such a brilliant move that they put him back in the game in the second half. Fuck you, Spanos. Oh lord, what an incredible blooper reel we have today. So you're saying this was an actual football game? That both teams were too busy playing horribly to try and win the game? That the Bengals chose to blame their losing woes on the rookie wide receiver instead of, anyone else? That criticism must have sparked something since the Bengals managed to somehow escape Denver with victory. Oh right, I know why they did. It's because Vance Joseph is completely miscast as a head coach and the team has devolved into a vegetative state. The Broncos have lost 6 straight and look like total puke, and people thought they were going to make the playoffs. Even in a different country, the Patriots dominate over all other life forms. The Raiders were just their latest victim. By victim, I mean they got completely depanced and ridiculed on the gridiron. This is technically supposed to be a home game for them. What a showing. And to think that we all thought the AFC West was going to be this great division earlier on. Hooray for another Patriots Super Bowl run, said no one outside of Boston. So both teams are playing like absolute shit right now. The Eagles are sputtering and the Cowboys are still lost without their running game. Perhaps Dallas can shock us all and pull out victory? Nah, that would actually be interesting. The Eagles snapped out of it and flew to yet another blowout victory in the second half. Don't worry, Cowboys fans, your playoff hopes may be all but dead, but Jerry Jones has vowed to use everything he has to go after the Ginger Hammer. Popcorn season is in session, baby! Turns out this is a bigger challenge than it already is for the Seahawks, as Cam Chancellor is also out for the season because the football gods are demanding more sacrifices. The Falcons are dominating on the offensive side of the ball, but this is Atlanta, of course. They are taking part in another patented choke job and have allowed the Seahawks back into the game on the leg of Blair Walsh.
Blair Walsh straight down the middle and short.
You know what would have helped not having to rely on Walsh, right? Not doing that bullshit trickery at the end of the first half. It's like you fuckers have learned nothing from passing the ball on the 1-yard line. Goddamn idiots. Once again, it's time to dub our lol cow of the week. Dre Kirkpatrick of the Bengals in one of the many gut-busting moments of their game against the Broncos. He picks off the immortal Brock Osweiler, runs for the end zone, and then bungles the ball in the air in a showing of ineptitude. This play summed up the game perfectly, and it's always good to see such failure nearly every week. I really should have called this my bye week.
Cousins out to his left. Can he run for it?
Oh,
No. As he gets hit by Von Bell.
That is not good.